Hello and good evening. I'm your host, Sterling McKinley. I want to thank you again for taking the time out today of your busy schedule to be here with us. So, today we have an entire hour and we're going to talk about email marketing. But before I hop into that, I want to say once again, thank you again for being here. So happy that you're here. Once again, this webinar is presented by the U.S. Black Chambers and also the good folks at Grow with Cool. Now, before I get started, I want to tell you all something that's really cool. So coming up in October, the U.S. Black Chambers is having a conference, and it's called the Buy Black Conference. So instead of me sitting here and trying to tell you about it, I'm going to show you a video that's going to tell you about the conference. So I'm going to play this video that's going to tell you more about the upcoming conference, and then we're going to talk more about it. So sit tight, watch the video.
Hello, my name is Ron Busby Sr. I'm the president and CEO of the U.S. Black Chambers, Inc., the national voice for black business. Not only do we advocate for black-owned businesses and issues that shape policy, but we also connect and equip black-owned businesses for greater growth and success. A major growth and connection opportunity for you and your business is this year's Buy Black Conference. It's being held this year at the MGM Grand Hotel, October the 13th through the 15th, 2021. This year, whether you attend online or in person, you can expect to attend sessions that will help you grow, help you understand emerging industries, hear from industry leaders on how to navigate race as well as business. Mark your calendars for October the 13th through the 15th and register now. In person, space is limited and virtual space is filling up quickly. So go to buyblackconference.com today and I'll see you at the Buy Black Conference soon.
All right, so that was more information about the upcoming conference, the Buy Black Conference. So let's do something. Let's check in real quick. If you're here and you want to learn more about the Buy Black Conference, in the comment box, type in Buy Black. Type in Buy Black in the comments box, and we'll talk more about it. So while you're typing Buy Black, I'm sure you all want to attend the conference. This conference this year is different because of the pandemic. It's going to be both in person and also virtual. So let's do this. Let's go to the website, and I'm going to show you how to sign up if you want to register. So the easiest way is to go into Google, of course. Love Google here. Type in Buy Black Conference right here. The first link will be the conference link. Click on that, click register, and you can sign up for the conference. And I want to say one thing: you want to sign up ASAP as soon as possible because there's two ticket prices. There are tickets that are in person and virtual. Now, if you want to be in person, the tickets are $300. If you want to be virtual, the ticket's only $50. But once again, there's an early bird special that ends on Monday the 13th. So if you want to be there virtually or in person, now is the time to sign up. And I'll say again, this conference is great. There'll be over 100 speakers and there'll be hundreds, tons of sessions, all talking about how Black-owned businesses can use digital marketing and just do business bigger and better. So once again, I think for $50, this is a great deal and a great steal. So once again, if you want to learn more about the conference, visit buyblackconference.com and to learn more about it. Someone says there's an echo. You still hearing an echo? I don't have one on my end. Oh, actually, I do. Hold on. I see. I had two mics on. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know that my mic was picking up feedback. All right. So let's get back to the webinar and let's get started because that's why you're here again. So before I get started, I'll just say once again, this webinar is all about you, all about your questions and your comments and your feedback. So anytime if you have any questions, don't be afraid. Type in that comment in the chat box and I'll be sure to respond to that. All right. And as always, tonight we're talking once again, well, not once again, for the first time about email marketing. Email marketing is so powerful, and I believe it's one of the most underused tools you have in your business. Why? Because it's low cost and it got a huge impact on making more sales. So let's do this. If you want to get started and you want to learn more about how to use email marketing, type in the comment box, you've got mail. If you're ready to learn more about email marketing, type in "You've Got Mail" and we'll get started. Let's see who's going to be first. Type in "You've Got Mail" and we'll get started. And I thought of "You Got Mail" because I was thinking about the movie back in, I think, the late '90s. "You Got Mail." I think it had Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks in it. It was about long distance dating, but a lot of that dating was done through email. So when I thought about today's class, I thought about that movie. So once again, if you're ready to get started, type in "You Got Mail." Nikita, thank you. You got mail. Appreciate that. Yeah, and it's so funny now too. I think about email. Email has come such a long way. In the past, email was this kind of cool thing we had, but now so much business is done through email. So tonight we're going to talk about ways that you can use email marketing in your business to reach your customers and make more sales. Nobody else want to type in "You got mail"? If not, it's okay. All right, so moving on, tonight we're talking about a few things. First, we're going to really define what is email marketing because it's something I'm sure you hear a lot about here and there. Email marketing is more about sending a regular email, via Gmail. It's a little more structured than that. So we're going to talk about what is email and why it's so important. The next thing we're going to talk about how email can help your business. Once again, the first step is understand what is email marketing, but there are so many benefits to using email marketing for your business. So tonight we're going to review all the ways that using email marketing can improve your business. And the last portion is we're going to talk about the types of emails. So there's different ways to reach your customers. So tonight we're going to go to some of the common ways you can use email marketing to stay in touch with your customers. All right. So, got a question. What is email marketing? What is email marketing? Do me a favor, type that in the chat box and tell me what is email marketing to you? The first person responds gets a free gift. Not really. I don't have any gifts, but once again, I want you to type in what is email marketing? And once I get a few answers, I'll talk about, what it actually is. But I want to hear from you. When I say email marketing, what do you think? Again, the question is, what is email marketing? Okay, no answers. So I'll tell you what email marketing is. So it's actually pretty simple. Okay, we got one comment here from Nikita. She says the old way of marketing. Okay, that's funny. That's still true. So, yeah, I agree. In terms of digital marketing, I believe email marketing was kind of the first kind of form of digital marketing. It's been around for years since the early 90s. Email's been around. And, I think that's part of the reason why people don't see email the way it should be seen now. Because, like Nikita said, it's seen as this old school marketing. But if you think about it, email marketing is more effective than social media, more effective than video. So, using email marketing is very important for your business. So, I always joke and kind of say that email marketing, in many ways, is the OG of digital marketing. It's been around from day one. So, Nikita, you're right, but I kind of want to break that thought process. Email marketing, yes, is an old form of marketing, but it's still so powerful because there's nothing like hitting your customer in their email box, and most emails are open now on phone, of course. And the few reasons why it's so special. I think if you think about social media, if you think about video, if you think about all these things we have online, we have so many distractions today. So many people trying to sell us products and services that we block them out. But your email is kind of this personal, kind of private space. So That's why emails get a high response rate than other forms of marketing. Why? Because they kind of break through the clutter and it sends a personal message to you. And I think it kind of reminds us of kind of the old school days when we sent letters. And think about how excited you are when you get a piece of mail. Now it changes some, but still, when somebody takes the time to send you a personal letter, you open that letter. You pass through all the spam, all the junk mail, all the flyers in your email, and what you look for the real letters. So I think we can learn a lot from that. If we are sending personalized emails to our customers, to our clients, they're more likely to read those. Why? Because it's a personal note just to them. So once again, that's what email I think is so powerful because it's that direct communication between you and your customer. So let me give you the textbook definition of what is email marketing. So email marketing, simply, it uses email to promote your products and your services. That's it. Email marketing uses your product. I'm sorry. Email marketing uses your emails to promote your business product and services. That's it. As simple as that. That's really all it is. So it's not something that's super complex. It's simply using email to talk directly to your customers. So that is what email marketing is all about. Simply just use the email to talk to your customers about your products and your services. So that to me is the reason why you have to be doing email marketing. Here we go. Email generates $42 for every $1 spent, which is a return on investment of 4,200%. I'll read that again. For every $1 that you spend on email marketing, it generates $42. That's amazing. And once again, that is a return on investment of 4,000%. That's major. I can't think of many things in life, in business, in stocks, in bonds, in investing, anything that has a 4,000%. That's great. So once again, that's why you need to use email marketing. And I won't sit here tonight and beat you over the head with all the stats and all the figures about email marketing. But once again, compared to other forms of marketing, whether that's billboards, TV, radio, social media, email marketing always outperforms these services. So before I go any further here, you're a little quiet tonight on the chat. So let me know how I'm doing. If I'm doing a good job, do me a favor. I want you to hit the like button and click like if you're liking this webinar so far. Or if you want, just type in the comment box. Type in like if you like what I'm saying so far, and we'll move on from there. So I'll give you 1 second. If you like what I'm doing tonight and what I'm talking about, do me a favor and just type in like, and we'll get started to talk more about email marketing. Okay, slow night. All right, so this library here, this is an example of what is email marketing. So once again, this is not simply email marketing is not using your Gmail or any service. Matthew says like, thank you for checking in, Matthew. It's been a slow night, so thanks for checking in. Definitely appreciate that. So yeah, everybody has a Gmail account, but email marketing is not sending a message through Gmail. No, we'll talk more about that on next webinar, but it's about sending an email that looks something like this, that has a subject line, a body, and a call to action. This is a formatted email message. This is not sending a regular message to somebody. So that's what makes it kind of different. And we all get these. I'm sure you signed up for different services, whether it's Google or ESPN, Nike. I mean, anything you follow, every company, if they can, they ask for your email address. And guess what? There's a reason why companies are asking for your email address. Why? Because an email, in a sense, is better than a phone number. It's that direct extension, that direct line to a customer. So that's why companies are always asking for emails. Why? Because email marketers work. But on the opposite end, um, I believe that's why we have to be more strategic in the emails that we send. So you shouldn't just be bombarding your customers every day with emails. Why? Because that's going to turn them off. And when you send emails, it all shouldn't be sell, 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 buy, buy, buy. That's the wrong way to do email. The right way to do email is to have a conversation with your customers, to constantly be adding value, to constantly educate them over time. And then hopefully that education leads to a sale. So I remember when I started off in business a few years back, um, I used email, but I was a spammer. I would get an email list of past customers or people that came to my classes, and I would just send them sales information again and again. So what happens is, will have a slow month, and the last week of the month, I'll say, "Wow, I need more money," and I would take time. I would create a flyer, and I would send that to all my clients and say, "Today we're having to sell half our websites." And guess what? That never worked because email marketing is not about sell, sell, sell. You want to use email marketing in advance because in advance, you want to educate that customer. You want to build that bond. So when it's time for a sale, when it's time to buy, they're ready. So that's the way you want to use email marketing. Once again, it's not about sales, sell, sales. It's about more about having a relationship. Matthew says, thanks again. Thanks for adding value, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. So let's move on to the next example. So there is three basic forms, not forms, basic anatomy of every email. So the first one you see here is the subject line. And the subject line is really the most important part of email because when you're scrolling through your phone or looking on your computer, the first thing that you see is the subject line. So you want to write subject lines that speak to people, that call them out, that gets their attention. So um, you want to really spend time making sure you have a really creative subject line. We'll talk more about that on next webinar, but something you can do is having their name in the subject line because people see their name. The email then is personal and they may open it. So you want to spend time making sure you have the good email subject line and also have an email subject line that describes kind of what's going on. Give them a reason to open it. And I kind of say it's like that carrot, like that preview. Write something that's going to entice me to open up the email. So the subject line is so important because that's the first thing I see on my email. And if it's a bad subject line, I'm going to just hit delete. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to hit spam. But if it's a subject line that speaks to me, I'm going to say, okay, I'll click that email, I'll open it and I'll read it. The next thing is the body. So the body of the email is that middle portion, and that's where you have your text. So that's when you write to your customer, telling them what the email is about. Also, that's very important. Your body shouldn't be too long. So I think one thing that people do on the email, they try to cram all of their marketing, um, all of their sales messaging into one email. So email is still like a preview because, like social media, people are busy. So a lot of times, smaller is better. So you want to be very brief in your email copy. Give them enough information, but not too much. Give them enough to where they click on the link and they'll find more about it. So once again, you don't want it to be too short or too long. So I'll say the most 3 to 5 sentences if you send email. Keep it to the point. Because once again, people are not going to read long emails, especially on their phone. Try to send an email that's long enough, but not too long. That's very important because long emails have a way of turning people off. And the last thing you see at the bottom here, it says keep reading, is you want to have a call to action. And by that I mean, what do you want me to do? If you're sending me email, you want me to do something. You want me to buy something. You want me to learn more.
You want me to look at something, to read more? What do you want me to do? So I think when we're doing email marketing, of course, we're trying to talk to a customer, but you have to think about why you're sending that email. What do you want them to do? If it's a sale, is it a survey? Are they signing up for something? Is it a ticket? What is it? So having a call to action, and that call to action can be a button on the bottom of the email. It can say learn more, click here, buy now, sign up now, something like that. But have a call to action because once again, people are, how can I say this? People are simple. They don't want to have to try to guess what you're talking about and what you want them to do. So provide a call to action to let them know what you want to do. And normally that call to action button or that text should be a color that stands out. It shouldn't be black. It should be red. It should be green or orange. Something that catches their eye. Because once again, people are quick. People are busy. So when they see your email, click that right away and they can see you. Shirley says, tax doctor too. Yeah, not sure what you're talking about, Shirley. So follow up, Shirley. What do you mean by tax doctor too? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but let me know what you're talking about and I'll be sure to respond to you. So once again, I want to check in and make sure that we're still on the same page. So is this helpful so far? If it's helpful, type in a 5. If it's not, type in 0, or simply just hit the like button and let me know if you like this. Is this helpful to you? Yes or no? And also, any questions? We have about roughly 40 minutes to go. So, any questions or comments you have about email marketing, now is the time to ask those questions. So, what challenges of email marketing are you having? Do you have questions about how to get started? Anything like that. So once again, from 0 to 5, how am I doing? And then also, are there any questions about email marketing? If so, answer those. Um, Carol says yes. Thank you, Carol. Also, Carol, if you have any questions, feel free to type those and I'll respond to those questions. So once again, this webinar is all about you and your business and your knowledge base. So now's the time to ask any questions you might have about email marketing. All right. Kara has a question. She says, what would be a great subject line for those just starting out? Good question. There's no perfect subject line for starting out. It really depends on what you're trying to say. Um, so I can Google that and give you some subject lines if you want to get started. But um, when you're sending a subject line, try to be personal. Try to give them away, give them a reason to open it. I think those are the best subject lines, but it really depends on what you want to do. So I will say one, make it personal. So one thing I do on my emails, I try to include a person's name. So if I was to send Carol email, I would say Carol, comma, are you ready to learn more about email marketing? Why? Because using that name makes it personal. And when it's personal, you see your name, we're all kind of, like that. You'll click that email. So make it personal, using their name, using a location. If they have a type of business, if you work with lawyers or doctors, putting that in the email subject line can really work. Also, I would say make it relevant. I think that's so important because I get emails all the time about different products and services, and if I'm not in the mind place for that, I don't care about that. So, by relevant, is there a time of year? So we're coming up soon on tax season. So if you're smart and you're accountant, you don't wait until tax season to start talking about that. You're talking about tax planning now. So in your email, be timely. So it can be around events or things that happen with your customer. Summer is ended. You can have a summer sale, or right now fall is going to start. You can have a fall sale. So try to be relevant with your subject line, and also you want to test your subject line because once again, Um, the best way to find out how things work is just to test it and really see what works best for your company. But once again, there's no one subject line that works. I would say one, keep it short. Also, once again, we don't have so much space on our phone, so you don't want a subject line that's too long. So a few words that are impactful but not too long. Be sure to keep it short. Um, Also, uh, you want to avoid words like that may be called as spam. So words like buy now or free. You want to stay from those words. Those words are really salesy, and if you have that kind of wording in your subject line, it will probably be sent to the spam folder. So you definitely want to make sure you stay away from that. The next thing, Carol, is to ask open-ended questions. So, um, do you want to learn more about email marketing? That's an open-ended question. Or a question is, who is the president of the United States? That's the question. So questions also do well in emails because hopefully that person has the question and they want to answer that. Also, in subject line is adding a deadline can help. So if you're having a sale or a service that expires around a certain time, have that in there. So we just had Labor Day, and I got a lot of emails saying Labor Day sale ending in 24 hours, ending in 10 hours, ending in 5 minutes. And once again, I didn't buy from those companies, but if I was on the fence about that and I wanted to get advantage of that sale, I will buy. Why? Because the email subject line, it was timely. It was a deadline. So that's why I think it's so important to do that. So that's a few tips on picking a subject line, but there's so many. But the review, you want to be relevant and you want to be personal and you want not to be too long. So you can't go wrong with those tips. See, got more questions here. Shirley, um, sorry, sorry to be late. Tax doctor, choose my business. Glad to be here. No, thanks for being here, Shirley. I appreciate that. And yeah, anybody else, if you came in a little late, no worries. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, this has been recorded, so you can always rewind this when this is done. And at 6 o'clock, play it back and hear everything I said one more time. So if you're tuning in late, no worries. When it's done, hit replay and watch it again. Shirley, also give me a 5. Appreciate that. Matthew, give me a 5 again. Appreciate that. Carol says thank you. Thank you, Carol. But yeah, Carol, it's a great question. Anybody else have any more questions about email marketing? Be sure just to enter those in the chat box, and I'll be sure to answer those questions. Moving on to the next section here, and we're talking about how email can help your business. And I think this is really important. Um, Going back to what we said earlier, I believe Nakia said email is the old way of marketing. It is, but email still works, And I said before, email is like the OG of digital marketing. Email's been around so long. I think as business owners, as people, we've forgotten about how effective email marketing is. Now, when email came out years ago, it was very effective, really effective. It still is, but now with all the spam and everything, it's less effective, but still very powerful. So, email can do so much for your business, because at the end of the day, it's about having conversations. And the email marketing is that way to speak directly to your customer or to your client. So, that's how it can help your business because once again it's about that personal connection, and I believe once a customer or client but potential customer, client, or current client, the more they trust you, the more they want to buy from you. It's this funny thing, but in a sense, you're not selling in your emails. You're educating, because the more information I have about your product or service, the more that I trust you, the more that I see you showing up. In my mind, I say, wow, that person, they're a resource. They know what they're talking about. I'm going to contact them for service. So that's what email marketing does. It educates them over time. So that's why it's so powerful for your business, because it builds that relationship. It cuts through all the clutter and speaks directly to your customer, to your client. Carol says, how often do you send email? Um, it really depends. You don't want to be a spammer like I was back in the day. You don't want to see an email every day. Um, I would say it depends on what you're doing, but I would say normally the most twice a week would be a good length to the email. I would say twice a week. Um, Even once a week is good, but you want to stay current with your customers. So I would start with one a week and see how that goes. If there's a reason to send 2 emails or more per week, fine. But if not, I think one a week is good. Best days kind of range. Normally, I send emails between on Thursdays, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And normally I send them at 10 a.m. But it really depends on your customers. But starting off, I would do 1 to 2 a week, and I would do Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you want to avoid the emails on Monday. Why? Because we just got through with the weekend, and we're still not in business mode yet. So um, skip Mondays, definitely Tuesdays and Thursdays, and also Fridays don't send, because people have kind of checked out on Fridays. They're looking forward to the weekend, and if you send an email, they're probably not going to respond. The timing, once again, I say 10 a.m. is a good time for me, because it's not too early, it's not too late, it's before lunch. 10 a.m. they kind of settle into their day. So um, for me, sending emails, I think best Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock really work well. But once you send emails, you want to see what times and what days of the week work best for you. So start off, like I said, with something general, but then you want to tailor your emails to um, your analytics. So um, we'll talk about this more later, but when you open up your email analytics, it'll tell you, what times of day, what locations, what days of the week people read your message. And then you can start sending your emails around those times. But yeah, start off general times and then customize that time to fit your customers. So that was a great question. Nakia says, how long should an email be? Yeah, it's a great question. If I had to give you like a number of words, that's a good question. I'm not exactly sure on the word count, but let me look it up. How long should email be? I'll say 3 to 5 sentences at the max. Not too much. Um, but let's see what the standard is. Because once again, people are busy. So right here it says the ideal length for email is between 50 and 125 words. So 50 and 125 words. I'll say max 200 words, because once again, we're on our phones, we're busy, we don't have a long time to read everything. So you want to be quick, but make sure, just like social media, just like Twitter, you only have a certain amount of characters. So make sure what you say is impactful, because you don't have much time. So 50 words minimum to about 200 words will be the max that email that I would send out. But good questions. If there are any more questions about email marketing, definitely get those coming. And we'll go back again to the presentation and talk more about email marketing. So I said this earlier and I'll say it again. Um, this is why emails is so important for your business. It's the best way to build relationships with your customers. The best way. And that might sound kind of cheesy, but online business is all about building bonds, because especially now during this pandemic and COVID, email marketing, digital marketing is so key. Why? Because we're not in front of our customers like we were before. We're not seeing them so much. So the only way that we can talk to them is by digital. So email builds that bond over time. It's that ongoing story. It's that conversation that you're having with your customer, your client. And like I said earlier, when people trust you, when people know you, they're more likely to do business with you. And it goes back to that old marketing saying, people do business with companies and people they like. So if you can use email to strengthen that bond, that's why it's so great. And I would say too is make sure that you're writing about things that your customers like, that your customers want to do. So if you're selling hot dogs, don't send emails talking about hamburgers. Why? Because your customers hate hamburgers. They love hot dogs. Talk about hot dogs. So one way you can build that bond and that trust is to make sure you talk about topics um, and other things that your customers like. So once again, if I had a sports news company, I wouldn't send my clients information about recipes. No, I would send them information about sports scores and stories and players, injuries, all those things. So make sure you're sending emails to your clients that are around the topics on the things you want to know about. Why? Because if they see that in the subject line or expect that, they say, wow, I'm going to take the time and read the email. Why? Because there's something about my industry, something that can help me. And that leads to my next point is when you're writing email, write emails narrow. Write them for a niche. Emails that are really broad and catch everybody doing work. So in your business, find out who your niche is. And whether it's email marketing, digital marketing, social media, write emails for a niche. So if you work with lawyers, everything you write should be about lawyers and about the problems and challenges lawyers are having. If a lot of your customers are parents, write about the challenges that parents are having, what things are going through. If you have a travel company, write about travel, write about getting a visa, write about traveling and being COVID safe, write about things that people want to know more about. And I think that's a way that you can build that bond over time. So let me ask you this question. Who on the webinar tonight is doing email marketing already? Um, if you are just typing yes or no. If you are already doing email marketing for your company, just type in yes or no if you're doing email marketing for your company. And while you're typing, I would say if you're not, you should be doing because it's easy to get started. Um, the first challenge is getting an email list. Your initial email list can be your customer list. It can be past customers. It can be current customers. You can start with there. So Carol says no. Um, Carol, what kind of business do you have? Let me know what you do, and I can give you some ideas on what kind of emails you can send. So let me know. David says yes, it's automated. Yeah, okay. You're advanced. I like that. Yeah. So Matthew, what kind of responses do you get from your email marketing? Do you see a big increase in sales from those, or how's it working for you? So we got one yes and one no. So that's good that you're using email marketing for your business. And if you're on the fence, once again, I would say definitely do it. And you don't need a huge email address. Address a list starting out of 1,000 or 500 emails. It can be 20, 30 emails and build over time. So you can start with your current um, uh, customer list and build from there. So Carol says, I am working on creating a course for transitioning military veterans. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, well, one of my um, I guess clients I work for is the Infos, um, and we train people in the military how to use social media. So I come across a lot of people that are transitioning, getting retired soon. And one thing about digital marketing is people that are leaving the military, they wait too long to get active on social media. So there's a big market for what you do. So I would say start on social media. That's a great way, and maybe you can do like a sign up. So you can type in social media, leave me your email address, DM me your email address if you want to find out more about my course. or if you have a course, give a free what's the word a free demo of the course. So maybe they only get to see 10% of the course, and but only if you sign up with your email address, then you get a free demo of the course. And that way you can gain more email addresses that way. But yeah, I like what you're doing. So definitely keep it up and think about ways to send emails. And one thing I think for you, just information, because I know so many people currently in their position that they're retiring in a year or 2, 3 years, and they're thinking about those concerns, whether that's healthcare, whether that's the next job. So if you can become a resource for people and begin educating them now on that, I think that's so powerful for what you're doing. So definitely keep that up. I think too for you, social media would be great. If you get on LinkedIn and start talking about military transitioning. If you have some friends already that are in the military, they're going to do that too. Start talking about that on social media, LinkedIn, and once again, offer them a sample of your course. If they like it, they can sign up with the email address and learn more that way. So back to the comments. Shirley says, "Not usually now, but setting it up now." Okay, that's good. Um, if you start it now or whenever, just get started. So definitely, and like I said before, it doesn't have to be a huge list. You can have 5 people in your email list. Just start out. Just start doing it. Why? Because it works and it's easy and it's also low cost. So yeah, Shirley, definitely get started. Um, Matthew says, not particularly from the automate campaigns. For the most part, is for the purposes of follow up. Okay, yeah, that's great, and we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, email is great for follow up, and like you said, sometimes those automated messages saying thanks for buying this, something like that, they don't get a huge response. But it's not about getting a response. It's just about following up with that customer, because I think that's the one thing that email can do too, because it's so hard to keep up with customers. It's really hard. But email is that way. You can kind of use your email to kind of stay in the customer's mind. So when they're thinking about you, when they need the service, say, oh, I remember Matthew. Last time I bought a product from him or a service, he sent me a thank you email. Simple ways are just following up. So yeah, keep doing that. Sending out those automated campaigns may not always get the biggest response right away, but once again, you just staying on top of mind of that customer, even if they don't open the email, even if they just see your name and delete it, they still saw your name, so you're still in their mind. So definitely keep sending those emails to your customers. Okay. So yeah, that's great. I'm glad that some of you are using email, and the ones that aren't, I'm glad that you're going to start using email. But um, yeah, just think about different ways you can use email marketing to grow your business. Definitely get started on that. So the next one we'll talk about is email marketing completes your marketing strategy. And what I mean by that is email marketing, I believe it ties everything together. So let's say you're already on social media. Let's say you're already, let's say you're on TV, you're on the radio, you're doing other advertising. Email marketing is that form that kind of brings it all together in a sense. So that's why I like email marketing. Um, Once again, there's so many ways to reach your customer. There's video, there's email, there's TV, there's radio, there's social media, there's your website, everything. But marketing is that one thing I believe that really kind of brings it together. So use it that way. It doesn't have to be your primary marketing channel. It doesn't have to be the only way you market, but the beauty of it ties in. So you're on YouTube, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're on social media, you're doing all these things. And there are all these things that you're finding ways to use email, do that. So that's what it does. Email really kind of ties it together once again. And I'll say before, email is that one thing that really stands out to your customer. So you want to find ways definitely to use email, because I believe it kind of really all just kind of pulls it together. And going back to what Matthew said, we're busy now. you might email a client 5, 10 times before they respond. And that's fine. I mean, studies show that customers sometimes take 5 to 7 times before they respond to a message. 5 to 7 times. So that's a lot. So if you're doing other form of marketing, email is another way of just staying in your customer's ear. And whether they see you on your website, on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, or YouTube, emails that one more thing you can do to kind of stay at top of their mind. Then hopefully when they're ready to buy your product, your service, they see the email and they buy. So with me, that happens a lot, um, especially on social media. Um, I'll see a product or service I may need, but not need it now. And then when I need it, I can't remember what it is. Why? Because there's so much out here. So if you can use email just to remind your customer every now and then that you're still here and what you do, what you service them, that's great. Why? Because you're staying on top of their mind. And email is that easy way you kind of stay on top of their mind and make sure that they still are thinking about your service. The next one is email. It tells a story. You want to tell a story in your email campaigns, and it's something I'm really passionate about. I think all form of marketing is really about storytelling. And I think the best brands, the best companies are telling the best stories. I think about companies like Nike, um, Coca-Cola, Apple. They telling great stories again and again. And email is a chance to continue to tell that story. And email is a chance also to connect them to other sources. So you can send an email and say, hey, watch this video on YouTube, watch this video on social media, and so on. So once again, email is also about telling a story. So not only do you want to write about topics that they want to hear about, you want to make sure that you're telling a story in your email again and again. And that goes back to building that bond and building that relationship. So whatever you do, be sure to tell that story again and again. And email is a great way to make sure that you are telling that story again and again. Shirley says, "How do I get in touch with you?" Um, you can send me email, Shirley. My email is s@sterlingmckinley.com. Once again, my email is s@sterlingmckinley.com. One more time, s@sterlingmckinley.com. Or always you can go to Google and just search my name. Search Sterling McKinley. You'll find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, all those sites, and we can talk that way. So once again, S McKinley. You can you can reach me by email. S McKinley at at s at sterlingmckinley.com. All right, so moving on now to the type of emails. And Matthew talked about one email earlier about sending that automated campaign or that follow-up campaign. So on this section, I was going to give you some more ideas on what type of emails you can send. Once again, because there's so many ways you can use email to reach your clients. So um, the first one is the newsletter. And this is probably the most used form of email marketing. So you sign up for a newsletter, and every month a company sends you a newsletter. And it's about stories or topics that you want to know about. This is a great way to reach out to your clients and to your customers and let them know more about what is going on in your business. So once again, it's nothing new. It's like sending out a regular newsletter through regular mail, but through email, sending out newsletter. And once again, the newsletter, it connects them to other sources. So your newsletter, it can live on your website. It can be a blog post. It can be a video. But you're simply saying, hey, click here, click this link to find out more about this product or service. So a newsletter is an easy way to do that. So newsletters are normally not sent weekly. They can be, but that's a bit much. I would say newsletter, send it once a month, maybe every 2 weeks. It's a good way to give an update on what you're doing. And once again, it's that way you can be not too aggressive with your customer, but you're keeping your name in their inbox. You're keeping your name on their mind. So I would say monthly would be good to send an email newsletter. That can be to your website, that can be to a blog post, or more links. So monthly newsletter is one of the most popular forms of email marketing. The next one I would say is customer loyalty. This is from a company, and it's the 1 year anniversary of that person being a customer. So I get this a lot from Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, from Nike. It says, "Thanks for being a customer for the past year," or "Happy birthday." Once again, you want to thank customers for being a customer, for being there for a year, or being there for 2 years, because that's important. I always say you want to make sure that you use the email to build that bond. And what do friends do? Friends remember milestones. Friends remember birthdays and events. So if you can track those events, anniversaries for your client, uh, when they signed up, things like that, be sure to send those emails. That's a great way to kind of build that bond with your customer and your client, because a lot of companies don't do that. A lot of companies, they take your money and you never hear from them again. But don't be that company. Be that company that follows up with people. So I think the worst thing is like buying a car. So when you go buy a car, the car salesman is your best friend. They're asking about your family, where you work, all this stuff, and you pay tens of thousands of dollars for a car, and you never hear from that car salesman again. And I never understand that, because I'm like, the person just made a big purchase from your company. They're going to need a car again in the next 5, 10 years. Why not put them on an email list? Why not send them a follow up emails or phone calls or postcards to keep them a customer? So that's what email marketing can do. When you make a sale to a customer, maybe they only buy your product once a month, once a year, fine. But keep in touch with them. Simple as that. You've already taken the work. You already sold that customer. They've already bought your product. Once again, going back to the old marketing saying, it's cheaper to keep your current clients than get new clients. So in business now, I think a lot of companies simply don't value clients. So simply keeping them in the pool is so important, because what do you want to build in your business? We all want to build repeat clients. Right now, I have a few contracts that are coming up for renewal. So guess what? All throughout the contract, I've been sending gifts and follow ups and all this stuff. Why? Because I know it's cheaper if I keep my current client than going out here and trying to get a new customer. And email marketing is one way to do that. It's one way to stay in touch with your customers, to let them know you're still thinking about them. Let them know you're still here. And then hopefully, when it's time to renew, when it's time to buy a product again, guess what? They think about your company, they want your product, your service, and they call, they email, they come to your store for another purchase. So that's why it's so important to send those loyalty emails. The next one is a transactional email. These are pretty simple. We all done this. If you ever go to the store and you buy something, um, you get an email saying thank you for your order. This happens with Amazon, any service. You buy something, thank you for your order. So once again, it's still transactional. A lot of people don't respond to this, but it's that confirmation. It's building that trust in a sense. So anytime you can talk to your customer, anytime you build that trust, that's important. And once again, this email is basically a receipt, letting them know that your order has been placed and letting you know that it's coming to you. So I would say that I believe email should be used as a way to tell your customer what's coming next. So a lot of the emails are saying, "Thanks for your purchase. This is when it's going to be delivered. This one will get to your house or your job." So use email to let customers what's coming next, because as customers, we all wondering, when is this getting here? What's to come next? So sending that email can let the customer let know what the next step is. Also, still one more thing too that's very important is um, onboarding. I believe that a lot of customers are turned off or are one in the onboarding stage. So when I get a new client, I go overboard to make sure that they're hearing from me, that they know me. Why? Because if you can establish that bond, that trust early on, it's more likely they're going to stay with you over the long haul. So once again, sending those simple emails, even when the client pays the invoice, sending a receipt saying thank you for your payment, simple, but you're building that bond, you're building that trust. And once again, if you can build that trust and that bond in advance, they're probably going to stay with you for a long time. Got a few minutes left here. I'm going to pause quickly. Any questions or comments about email marketing? Um, any questions or comments? Feel free to drop those in the comment box, and I'll respond to those questions and comments. So, any questions or comments or challenges in email marketing? Now's the time to ask the questions. So, the next form of email is cross selling and upselling. And this is very key. And this goes back to the stat I read earlier that email marketing um, has a return on investment of almost 4,000%. Why? Because email can help you make more sales. This is an email from Williams Sonoma for upsell. And they have a new product coming out saying if you buy this product, it has free shipping. So that's what email marketing does. So if a customer has already bought from you, the chances of them buying from you again is very high. So what you can do, you can offer them a product or service that's catered to them. They may even cost more, but it can be upsell. And that's amazing because once again, you want to do business with your customers. You want to build that strong customer base. I'll give you a quick story. Starbucks. Any Starbucks loved on a webinar? Any coffee drinkers? Um, Before I talk, I always drink a Starbucks iced coffee to get started. But Starbucks is built off customer loyalty. They have a plan called Starbucks Rewards, and they have I think 16 million members. And Starbucks they make 40% of their sales, 40% of their sales off repeat customers. 40%. And if you ever go to Starbucks, if you sign up for the programs, you get emails about different coffee, about drinks, locations, about points. Why? Because they have understood that building a loyal customer base is the way to go. So, email can help you do that. Email can help you upsell, help you cross sell. It can introduce new products and service to your clients. So that's why email marketing, once again, is so powerful because email really sells. Like I said, once again, Starbucks makes 40% of their sales off repeat customers. And a lot of that transaction, yes, is done through the app, but it's also done through email marketing. And you get emails that are very personalized. Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. Be back soon. You see that email and you come back to Starbucks. So that's one of the key reasons why you want to definitely do email marketing. Anybody know anybody in the webinar drink Starbucks? No coffee lover? There's always like one coffee lover on the line. So that's surprising. Don't like coffee. All right, let's move on. The next one is win back emails. And this kind of goes into what I talked about again. So um, this says, we haven't heard from you lately. We would love to see you again. Once again, emails that way you can re-engage clients and have them do business with your service again. So once again, email is a great way to reach the customers and let them know that you're still there. So just to recap, once again, email marketing is so powerful. Um, it is the OG digital marketing, but it's the most effective, affordable way to reach your customers. And to get started, you don't need a huge email list. You can have 5, 10 emails. You can get a service like MailChimp, like Constant Contact, and get started from there. But emails are a great way to stay in your client's face. And if you've been on any of my other past webinars, I always say that digital marketing and business now is all about visibility. And I believe the companies that win are the most visible. So if you can be showing up in your customer's email box, and their social media accounts, on video, other ways, all that visibility is going to lead to a sale. And an email is the easy and simple way to increase visibility for your company and also to increase sales. So once again, we're going to wrap up. Our next webinar is going to be actually on next Tuesday. We're talking about e-commerce then, but if this webinar has been helpful to you, let me know. If it has been, type in 5. If it hasn't been, type in 0. And as always, press that like button if this has been helpful. Once again, if you're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, hit the like button once again and let me know if this webinar has been helpful to you. Also, for more training, 2 things. You can visit Google Grow, google.com/grow for more trainings and more instructions. Also, if you go to the website of the U.S. Black Chambers, uschambers.org/webinars, there's a list of this webinar and more webinars. So you can find out about anything you want to, about financing, about digital marketing. They have tons of training about these topics. So be sure to visit that. So once again, it's 6 o'clock already, but I want to thank you for your time. And once again, we'll be here on next Tuesday, once again at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So, and once again, I'm going to play the video about the Buy Black Conference coming up on October 13th and 15th. You definitely want to be there. You definitely want to buy your ticket as soon as possible. So thanks again, and I'll see you next week.
Hello, my name is Ron Busby Sr. I'm the President and CEO of the U.S. Black Chambers, Inc., the national voice for black business. Not only do we advocate for black-owned businesses and issues that shape policy, but we also connect and equip black-owned businesses for greater growth and success. A major growth and connection opportunity for you and your business is this year's Buy Black Conference. It's being held this year at the MGM Grand Hotel, October the 13th through the 15th, 2021. This year, whether you attend online or in person, you can expect to attend sessions that will help you grow, help you understand emerging industries, hear from industry leaders on how to navigate race as well as business. Mark your calendars for October the 13th through the 15th and register now. In person, space is limited and virtual space is filling up quickly. So go to buyblackconference.com today and I'll see you at the Buy Black Conference soon.